Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's segment of readings. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them, just to be fair. For the tarot portion, I'm using Wild Reflections Tarot by Weispell. I think it's Weispell. And on the back here is the weispell.com. There's some information there if you're interested to check that out. I think it's a really pretty deck. Supportive Oracle cards, one of my favorite decks too. Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish. And there's a hayhouse.com website down there at the bottom below the barcode somewhere if you're interested. And last but not least, I do use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. And then I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element for the minor arcana. These are from Math Art Fun. Math Art Fun is the website, mathartfun.com. It's from the Dice Shop, if you're interested. Okay, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? I'm getting used to a new camera, so I'm going to try to make sure I keep looking in the correct space. The camera I usually use, I look here, but this here. So if I keep doing that, that's why, because my brain has to remember. I've got to look here. This is a lot. So, it may be for the best. How do I say this to make sense? It doesn't always work. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's start this way. It doesn't always work where you try to help somebody and you show them, here's a good plan. This is how it should go. This would make most sense. You'll get a good outcome. Just stick to this plan. I feel like Capricorn does this for people when necessary or when you feel like it's worth it. It doesn't always work. For either they can't follow the plan or something. Something just goes wonky. So it just doesn't always work. So whatever we're dealing with here, I feel like that's the underlying issue of kind of like, I think you're really trying to help somebody. And if you're trying to help somebody, they mean a lot to you. Because I feel like the frustration that's going to be a part of this, you're not going to put up with it unless it's of real value and you're seeing a reason to do so. There's been a lot of potential with this situation, and you genuinely like this person. Now it says friendship, but like this could be a family member, this could be a coworker, could be a mentor, could actually literally be a mentor or a teacher or something like that. But it's one of those things where you see potential, you genuinely like them, and I feel like that's because you see a good person. You're like, they do what they do how they do it, but I feel like they're a good person. They're a good person. And I feel like, give it time. I'll try to help them. I'll try to show them a different way to do things. Give them time. This could go better for them. This could go a lot better for them. And every now and then I'll try to give them a little bit of help where I can. Even if this is a teacher, because it might be something you're learning how to do this from somebody. They're telling you how to do something. They're showing you how to do something. And that may be great, but they need something from you too. They could get a little organization or a little bit of something. So it's like you're giving something in return here that's very valuable is what I'm getting. It doesn't have to be like that, but I feel like for a lot of you it is. As it keeps moving forward, there are good moments where things do make sense, but you are on the reality train. You're right on that reality train. And what I mean by that is this moment is good. Love that. Yes, this moment's good. But you're kind of like, this isn't going to be every day. This isn't going to be every day. You're on the reality train. You're on that reality train. Like, I would love it if every day was like this. I would love it. Love it. It would be great. Perfect. Great. Wonderful. That's not how this is going to go. And you know that. And I feel like I'm trying to celebrate the wins while we have the wins. Again, you very much care about whoever this is. You wouldn't do this if you didn't. I don't think you'd be a part of this. And you're seeing that random energy kind of pass through, but it's going to the benefit of the situation at this time. So we're good. Okay. I feel like you're trying to kind of mediate it out, and you're looking at it like, all right, I know this isn't going to last forever. How long can I stretch it out? How long can I stretch it out? Can I keep it going? Can I pull it out? Like, how long can I keep it going for? I feel like you're, again, reality train, very much on the reality train. This will not last forever. You're under no such delusion. I just don't believe you are. It's a general read, take it with a grain of salt, but if this reading is hitting, I don't think you're under any such delusion. It does make you nervous, and you want this to go better, and you're trying to figure out, why is it working this time? Is there something that's a part of this moment that can be duplicated later? We could do it again? Or is there a factor here that when this factor shows up, that's going to be the prime time to get certain things done? So it's kind of like, I don't know, is it something that we could duplicate? Or, for example, it's kind of like the seasons. When spring comes around, you plant certain things, you know what I mean? Typically, people don't plant things in fall. Well, you do, but anyway, certain things you don't. And people who don't know, like where I am, you plant tulip bulbs in the fall and they come up in the spring, if you're wondering why I said that. But there's certain times to do certain things, and when the season comes around, what is the season? What is the trigger? How do I know it's here? How do I know it's the right time? Stress. It is stressful for you because this means a lot to you. You know, you're putting a lot of effort into it. You're yes, totally on that reality train, but I think that's why. I think that's why it's so stressful, because you're like, I'm not going to play that game where this is how it should go, because I need this to actually work. And if I play that this is how it should go game, I'm just going to have failures all over the place, and I didn't show up for that. I didn't show up for failures. I showed up for success, and to get that success, I got to stay on that reality train, and it doesn't matter if it's supposed to do whatever. I know it won't. Reality train. Very much on the reality train. What is happening here is a good question. Something in the environment, whoever you're helping, unexpected something. Okay, so the Tower hits. Tower is a very tricky card, in my opinion. It is the breakdown of something. It is the shock of something. It doesn't have to be bad, in my opinion. I've done a few readings. I've done a lot of readings over my lifetime, quite frankly. And once in a while, it's not bad. It depends on what we're dealing with. And whatever's happening to this person, I don't think the Tower's hitting for you, because I don't see you getting upset. But something's falling apart for this other person you're helping, and they don't know what to do. They're not happy with how current systems are working, and they're getting in this moment where they're just like, I don't know what to do. I think it's all falling down. I think it's all falling in on me. I don't think this is going to work. I think I'm going to fail. I think I'm going to fail miserably. I just feel like the walls are coming in on them. Everything's falling in on them. That's how I'm getting. That's kind of how it feels anyway. Take it with a grain of salt. Blah blah blah. General read. But your influence in this moment can not only keep things where they should be for now. Let's drag this out a little farther. Let's get some more out of this that we can. But it can also be very healing. It can be. Can we get a little bit more of that? Because I feel like Capricorn is a very interesting sign, because I feel like people see Capricorn as harsh, but Capricorn can be very, very caring and very, very helpful. And I feel like people don't highlight that too enough. That like Capricorn, when they find it worth it, when you deem it worth it, when you deem it worth it, you can be a very helpful, very healing energy. I feel like the reason, I don't know if I want to go down this road, but when Capricorn's unhappy, you make quite the impression. I feel like most of you know that. But the thing is, you're also just as good when you're doing something healing too. So I just feel like we need to be fair about that. Very, very impactful. Capricorn is very impactful. All right, so you can release a block is what I'm getting, but we got to be careful. You might be able to release a block, but it's kind of like we got to be careful. You know, we got to stay on that reality train. You know, stay on that reality train. Because this might be one of those moments where I feels like maybe I can convince them to stick with the plan from now on. Stick with that reality train, because it's kind of like I want to believe that they're just going to do it the right way from here on out. Stay in the reality train. You know that's not how this is going to work. Stay on the reality train. Be aware of, like, there's going to be, this isn't going to totally work, but you might get more movement forward. I feel like you get to learn more about what throws this person off, and you could stabilize the situation a bit more. The plan is going to be subjective to like what's going on per day is what I'm getting, but understanding what's triggering this person, and one of the probably many things that kind of throws them right off, will help you not only stabilize it for yourself, but help teach them, like, be aware when this happens, you get thrown all over the place. I know some people, and you probably can relate to this, when they have a very heavy schedule, one thing goes off the wrong way, it can screw up their whole day. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you, but some people that does. And it's kind of like realizing, okay, I gotta step back while things are not crazy, and I gotta think to myself, now that I'm outside the situation, now that it's over, if I'm looking at it from the outside, when that happened, what could I have done to keep the day on point? Like, could I have just omitted that task and gone on to the next one? Would it then done it at a different time, or would that be not a possibility? Or should I have omitted a different task during the day and shifted things around? How could I have still kept my success for the day, but not completely ruined the day? And you can help them figure that out. Because I do feel like, especially earth signs, and you're clearly an earth sign, there's like, you want things done, and there's a reason they're done in a certain order. So it's kind of like, I feel like a lot of times anyway, with the way I see earth do things, if you have 5 things to be done in a day, they're done usually from the most important to the least important. I could be wrong with that. Maybe it depends on the person. Maybe it depends on the job, quite frankly. But it's kind of like you're getting things in order that they have to be done in. They have to be done in a certain order for a certain reason. So a lot of times I feel like it's kind of like, all right, I need extra time for this one, so I'm going to push this back. Everything's going to get pushed back, and the one at the end is going to have to go to tomorrow, or it's just going to take me longer. You can teach them how to handle this stuff. You can teach them, like, well, when these crazy things happen in my life, this is how I restructure it that makes the best sense for me. This is good. You're bringing in stability, you're bringing in healing. I just kind of talked to this card already. Gotta look there, I'm sorry. The thing is, be aware of how this is affecting this person, because when you're helping them, you're getting this Ace of Cups. I'm kind of worried about a love bomb going off. Like, you know, there's, oh my God, Capricorn, you're the best person on the planet. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Which is, it's a nice thing, and it's good to enjoy, but it's kind of like, ooh, this, when people love bomb, that's, something's wrong. Something isn't right. Something isn't quite right. They're saying, enjoy that moment, but kind of like when I get the Lover's card, sometimes it talks about Gemini energy, which means there's a lot more here. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving pieces. And there's a possibility for things to go better, but like, this is a moment. If they start love bombing you, especially if they start love bombing you, we got to bring that down to reality right away. I'm glad to help you. I'm very thankful that you're appreciative. Thank you for appreciating me, but let's remember, I'm giving you information. You're going to have to do it. So until it's actually done, until it's actually worked out, until it's actually happened, like, let's not go crazy and get too, like, let's not like have balloons and streamers at this point. You know what I mean? bring it down to reality. Thank you. I love being appreciated. Great. Let's make it happen now to make sure it actually makes sense. You know what I mean? I feel like Capricorn would naturally do that anyway. So, wouldn't you? There's some random energy here. The random energy, I feel like I don't want to take the wind out of their sails. Maybe that's one of the reasons maybe you would hold back from that. Like, I kind of want to let them celebrate while they're celebrating, but it's kind of like, yeah, I know you don't want to take the wind out of their sails, but it's kind of like celebrate it to a point, but like, it's almost like me. It's like, all right, let's have a good time, but while while we're having a good time, if you see some dishes that need to be cleaned up and taken out, bring them into the kitchen. Like, I'm a person, like, every now and then I'll just spot check and I'll clean things up here and there. I'll just kind of like, you keep control of the situation, so at the end it's just not a mountain. Maybe I don't know. I do that here and there. I spot check, I move things around when I'm doing things, but maybe that's one of these things, kind of like, all right, we can celebrate, but as we're celebrating, let's move forward a little bit here and there, so that way we can make sure things keep going and keep the momentum going. I feel like Capricorn can be very good at that. The situation, I feel like this is one of those things where it means a lot to you and you kind of feel stuck. You're like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm trying my best, and hopefully I can influence this person to keep going the way they should be going. They don't know if it's going to actually work. I don't know. I feel like the way you I feel like organization period is hard for them. Organization period might be hard for them, just flat out. Not the way you do it, just the subject itself. Being organized can be very daunting or stale or very inhibiting or something. It just doesn't work for them very well. So they're trying to go along with it, but that's one of the reasons why this might be a slippery slope, because the organization just might be a challenge for them for whatever reason. Probably always will be. I feel like as you keep moving forward with this, it's just one of those things where I have to deal with the random moments and I have to balance it out. I have to deal with the random moments and I have to balance it out. It's just staying on the reality train. It's also realizing this other person, it's not that they don't believe in you. It's not that they don't trust you. It's just that the situation overwhelms them and the organization becomes very stale for them. It becomes very overwhelming. The literal organization can be overwhelming for them. Where Capricorn usually benefits from like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you keep doing it that way, Capricorn can get in line with it because they get success. This other person's like, it just drains the energy out of them. And they're just like, oh my God, again, the 5, the 5, oh my God, I can't, the 5. And like, they're just kind of, they get very stressed about it. They get maybe even stressed about even starting it up again for the next day. Like, oh, I have to do the 5 again. I hate it so much. Because the repetition doesn't work for them. You might want to, if this is becoming a challenge, find somebody else who's successful but also deals with this type of random energy. They might be able to give you pointers on maybe how to help this situation a little better. They might have ideas about how to keep the structure but put more spontaneity in the structure. Keep the structure sound, but still have enough spontaneity where this person doesn't feel like it's dragging them down. You might want to find somebody to give you advice, because I get the strength card coming in with the magical powers, which is kind of like the magician. You could very much benefit from somebody else helping you of your choice, that you're kind of like, they're successful, they're a bit random. Maybe I can pick their brain to see how they do things, not in the sense of you're going to do that way, but maybe you could take these processes, these ideas, bring them over to this other situation, maybe the person you're trying to help, and be like, all right, let's try this. It's not how I would do it, but if it keeps this structure sound, if it keeps things working forward successfully, let's at least try it, because in the reality train here, it only lasts so long anyway. If we can find a way to keep the basic structure intact and put in some spontaneity, some randomness, something like, some color, whatever you want to put, whatever you want to say, maybe we can have long-term success for this. Maybe this can go a lot better than I thought. Whew. That was a lot. I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.